Papa told me I couldn't do a lot of things.
I feel like I'm the chosen one.
Look at this. We created this. This didn't exist before we were here. All we are is proud and passionate. I love Toronto. I love this team. And we're going to the NBA Finals. Let's go!
Nothing matters but winning.
Welcome back to Rapzville Weekly. I'm your co-host, Gabriel Chelio, talking with
Adam Casucci.
I got you guys another one for this week, another saying instead of here with or along with. Today we're continuing on with the origin stories, the guards. We have two more to go, Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry. So today is Freddie without further ado. So Frederick Edmund VanVleet Sr. was born on February 25th, 1994 in Rockford, Illinois to Fred and Susan Manning. It was a very tough childhood in Rockford, as many people were struck with poverty. He felt like he had it good in this dangerous neighborhood because his parents worked a lot to put food on the table. However, as he left for college, he finally realized that he too was very poor and was still part of the lower class. Freddie also suffered the loss of his father, Fred Manning, who was murdered when he was 5 years old. His father was taking part in activities that he shouldn't have been at the time, but he did so his family could survive financially, so very tough situation there. His grandparents became much more part of his life from this point on, along with his new stepfather, Joe Danforth, who helped to put food on the table. Freddie takes these moments to heart, but thinks that everything happens for a reason and that these things are meant to happen to him. First time he started, bouncing a basketball was when he was 5 years old, and ever since then, his biggest dream was to make it to the NBA. He wanted that dream so bad that he spent his whole life fighting for it, as if it were a matter of life or death. His mentality going into basketball has always been being a true point guard, doing whatever his team needs him to do to win, and being a leader on and off the court. He explains his calm and serious demeanor on the court as being a part of the way he grew up. He was always playing basketball with older kids, older guys specifically, and did not want to start any altercations between them, so he chose to speak when spoken to. He also knew that his voice would not be respected or heard because he was with a lot of older kids, so he stayed in the corner and usually in silence, just watching and learning. He also made it a point of saying that he played his fair amount of minutes on the bench. So without being able to play, he had nothing more to do except for watch, learn, and develop, as people weren't really waiting to see his skill set. So he was constantly had that underdog mentality in his life. VanVleet played for Auburn High School in Rockville, Illinois, where he was an all-state first-team selection by the Chicago Sun-Times, Associated Press, and Chicago Tribune as a senior in 2012. Also in 2012, VanVleet helped lead Auburn to a 22-game winning streak, which resulted in the school's first Illinois High School Association, IHSA, Final Four since 1975. He ended up leading Auburn to a third-place finish in the IHSA state tournament. VanVleet remained loyal to his local Rockford Amateur Athletic Union, AAU, club team, instead of accepting offers to more high-profile teams in Chicago. VanVleet felt that it would not make a difference in his recruiting. He said that as long as you're leading whoever you're playing with, the coaches are going to see that. If they see you competing and winning with guys maybe I shouldn't be winning with, that's maybe even an advantage for me. So he felt like this was bettering his chances of getting somewhere, playing with a worse caliber team or a lesser known club. This proved true as he received basketball scholarship offers from Colorado State, Northern Illinois, Southern Illinois, Drake, Detroit, and Kent State. However, his stepfather felt that he was being overlooked by many Chicago metropolitan area schools because of his decision to not join a Chicago AAU team. He eventually cut down his list to Kent State, Northern Illinois, and Wichita State, and he finally accepted an offer from Wichita State, making him the only member of the national class of 2012 Rivals.com Top 150 to attend a Missouri Valley Conference school. Freshman year at Wichita State was quiet for FEV, as he only scored in double digits twice. However, he did break out as a sophomore as expected. On January 23, 2014, he was selected to the 23-man Oscar Robertson Award midseason watch list by the United States Basketball Writers Association. And when the Rockford native returned to Chicago metropolitan area on February 19 to lead Wichita State against Loyola, he went 6 for 6 from the field and 10 for 10 on his free throw attempts for a game-high 22 points and adding 8 rebounds and 6 assists to help Wichita State raise its record to 28-0. On February 28, he was named one of the top 10 semifinalists for the Naismith College Player of the Year award. VanVleet helped lead the 2013-2014 team to the first 31-0 regular season in NCAA Division I men's basketball history. As a result, he was named to the Missouri Valley Conference All-Conference First Team and selected as the Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Player of the Year. He was also selected to the 2014 Missouri Valley Conference Most Improved Team, so this is pretty good recognition in his sophomore season. Following the 2014 Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball tournament, VanVleet was a 2014 NCAA men's basketball All-American second team selection by Sports Illustrated and Bleacher Report, and being also a third team selection by the Sporting News and the NABC. On March 11th, Fred VanVleet was named to the All-District 6 team by the United States Basketball Writers Association. VanVleet was listed on the National Association of Basketball Coaches Division I All-District 16 first team on March 12th. VanVleet was also named as one of the 6 finalists for the Cousy Award, along with Kyle Anderson, Aaron Kraft, Tyler Ennis, Shabazz Napier, and Marcus Page. So most of these are familiar names we've heard from the league. And VanVleet was preseason All-American first-team selection and second-team selection by many sites and sports journalists in going into the next season, his junior season. So even the couple years after, he kept getting recognized preseason, being on a bunch of different watch lists for his stellar play the year before. In its preseason top 100 player ranking, Fred VanVleet was listed as number 5 by ESPN. On November 14th, Fred VanVleet tallied 7 steals in the opener against New Mexico State, which tied the school record. In his return visit to Chicago and the Gentile Center to play Loyola on January 11th, he again was perfect from the field with a 5-5 performance and added a career-high tying 10 assists, as well as 6 rebounds, 3 steals for his first career double-double, which is quite common for him now. In the rematch against Loyola on January 28th, Fred VanVleet posted a career-high 27 points. On February 7th, VanVleet posted the first triple-double for Wichita State, Shocker men's basketball, in 43 years, with a 10-point, 10-rebound, 11-assist, 4-steal performance against Missouri State. Very impressive from him. We love to see those triple-doubles. On February 16th, VanVleet was a Missouri Valley Conference Co-Player of the Week with Seth Tuttle. On the 26th, VanVleet broke the all-time Wichita State career assist record against Evansville with 431 assists, surpassing Warren Jabali, who had 429, and Turi Murray, who had 430. Fred VanVleet, obviously known for his passing, and now he's been a great playmaker for us, and it's obviously been a history for him to be a great passer and a willing passer for his team. VanVleet was one of the 17 finalists for the Cousy Award, and the Shockers defeated the Northern Iowa on February 28th to win the Missouri Valley Conference regular season title. In the opening game of the 2015 NCAA Men's Division I basketball tournament for the Shockers, VanVleet matched a career high with 27 points against Indiana, and he finished the tournament with a 17-point performance and 25 performance against the second-seeded Kansas and third-seeded Notre Dame, respectively. Quite impressive to see him put up these type of numbers against well-respected schools like these, schools that we hear more of in the NCAA tournament. VanVleet was named All-MVC first-team selection following the regular season. He was also recognized by the Associated Press as an honorable mention selection for its All-America team. VanVleet has been dealing with hamstring injuries that season when he rolled his right ankle during the sophomore year. Because of this, he saw no more than 3 minutes of play in the season opener against the Charleston Southern Buccaneers on November 13th. Though he played in the next game against Tulsa, it aggravated his hamstring even more, and it made him miss the next couple of games. Without a healthy VanVleet, Wichita State fell to 2 games under 500 for the first time since its 08-09 season, and they suffered their worst season start, 2-4, since the 07-08 season. VanVleet returned to the lineup on December 5th against the St. Louis to bring the consecutive losses to an end. So obviously his play made a big difference there. And for having averages of 13.5 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds in 2 significant wins in December, VanVleet was named Missouri Valley Player of the Week honors on the 14th of that month. He earned Player of the Week honors again on January 11th after he led the Shockers to victories over the conference co-leaders Evansville and Southern Illinois on January 6th and 9th. On January 31st, VanVleet made all 15 of his free throw attempts on his way to a career-high 32 points against Evansville. This led him to earning his 3rd MVC Player of the Week honor. In the 2016 NCAA Men's Division I basketball tournament, VanVleet led the team to victories over Vanderbilt and Arizona. Against Vanderbilt in the first 4 rounds, he and fellow senior Ron Baker led an 11-0 run to break a 30-30 tie on March 15th. The pair scored all 11 points in the run and tied with a game-high 14 points. On March 17th, VanVleet and Baker led 11-seed Wichita State to a victory over 6-seed AP poll, 17th-ranked Arizona. VanVleet posted a game-high 16 points, 5 steals, and 4 rebounds. With 4 steals in his final career game on March 19th against Miami, VanVleet brought his career total to 225, setting a school career record, which is obviously great. We know him today for bringing high intensity to both ends of the floor, so he obviously, once again, has a history of that. And following the regular season, VanVleet was named to the Missouri Valley Conference All-League First Team for his third consecutive season and the MVC Larry Bird Trophy Player of the Year for the second time in 3 years. VanVleet was also an AP All-America Honorable Mention.
After renting out a venue and hosting a draft party for the 2016 NBA Draft, Fred VanVleet was greatly let down when he did not hear his name called in the second round. He had to apologize to all his guests, and he was comforted by all his family members and friends. He chose to trust his agent, who told him that it was better to not get drafted than go late in the second round. Teams that wanted to draft him, and there were still places like the development leagues or summer leagues where he could showcase his talent. He was also able to use this as a fuel for his improvement and determination to succeed. Around draft time, Fred declined 2 offers to play in the NBA Development League at $20,000 for 2 years by teams interested in drafting him in the second round. Instead, he chose to play in the 2016 NBA Summer League with the Toronto Raptors with the expectation that he would be in the Raptors training camp. On July 18th, he ended up signing a multi-year deal with the Raptors. At the time of his signing, the Raptors had 14 players entering training camp on guaranteed contracts, including point guards Kyle Lowry, Corey Joseph, and DeLon Wright. VanVleet was competing with Brady Heslip, Drew Crawford, Yannick Marea, EJ Singler, and Jared Utoff for the final spot. On October 22nd, one by one, these players were called down to individual meetings, and VanVleet was last to go. Freddie went in to talk to Coach Dwayne Casey, who told him that he was remaining on the team roster, which had to be cut down to 15 players. Casey said that they were excited to have him and told him that what he was doing was well, along with what he could improve on. VanVleet made his official league debut on November 9th, 2016, playing in only 20 seconds in a 112-102 win against the Oklahoma City Thunder. VanVleet posted his first 2 points in the Raptors' 19th game and his fourth appearance, which came against the Los Angeles Lakers on December 2nd. On February 3rd, VanVleet established a new career high with 15 points in a 102-94 loss to the Orlando Magic. During his rookie season, VanVleet had multiple assignments with Raptors 905 of the NBA Development League. He was a member of Raptors 905's championship-winning team in April 2017, playing very well in all of his games. He told reporters around this time that he doesn't care whether he plays for the Raptors NBA team or the Raptors 905. He is still going to play with the same intensity and same drive. Kyle and DeMar encouraged him to keep playing his game when he got to the NBA. Not pretend to be that someone he's not. They wanted him to do what he normally does on the court, not to try to fit into a new playing style for the team. This dramatically helped boost his confidence. VanVleet was very grateful to be joining this winning franchise with great players such as DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, and beloved bench mob friends. He finally got to be able to live out his dream, playing in the NBA when the Raptors gave him a contract and showed their confidence in him. In return, Fred chose to display his energy and toughness on the court, working as hard as he could to keep his dream alive. He knew that he had to stay patient, but also be able to play his heart out when he got the chance. He did not want to leave anything off the court and knew he had to be ready at any time to perform. Since this time, Freddie has started to live by his famous quote and branding tool, bet on yourself. This is because he believes that the most dangerous players and teams to play against are the ones that are doubted on or not respected fully. He believes that they have a greater reason to play and will come out every night with a chip on their shoulder. He is one of these people who was doubted on come draft time and underappreciated. He used this as motivation and now made a career in the NBA out of one simple opportunity he was given. He did this through his tenacity, high basketball IQ, and insane work ethic and toughness. During the next year in the NBA, Fred began getting more serious minutes. Coming off the bench for the Toronto Raptors, on November 25th, 2017, VanVleet posted a career-high 16 points against the Indiana Pacers. But Fred continued to post new career highs this year, being the second of his career. On January 11th against the Cleveland Cavaliers, he had 22. Then on January 28th against the Los Angeles Lakers, he had 25. One huge moment in this year that we all remember is on March 7th, when VanVleet made a three-pointer from the left corner with 1.1 seconds left to clinch a 121-119 overtime win for the Raptors over the Pistons. This made Toronto the first team to clinch a berth in the 2018 NBA playoffs. He shot badly for the entirety of this game, but when it mattered most, Fred delivered, and DeMar had faith in him to do so. This perfectly describes Steady Freddie as we know. He never gets rattled from bad shooting nights. VanVleet finished the 2017-2018 season, averaging 8.6 points, 3.2 assists, and 2.4 rebounds in 76 games. He ranked fourth in the NBA in net efficiency per possession behind Stephen Curry, Eric Gordon, and Chris Paul, and was the only full-time bench player in the top 20 in the league for plus-minus. Pretty impressive. He was subsequently nominated for the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award, but obviously did not win. VanVleet re-signed with the Raptors on July 6, 2018. He was very happy to receive this offer from us as he felt like Toronto was his home. He wanted to play with us because we believed in him and gave him that very first opportunity in the league. On December 11, 2018, he had a career-high 14 assists in a 123-99 win over the Los Angeles Clippers. On February 7th, he set a new career high with 30 points in a 119-101 win over the Atlanta Hawks. He was ruled out for approximately 3 weeks in early February with a partial ligament injury to his left thumb, an injury that occurred 2 nights earlier against the New York Knicks. The Raptors entered the 2019 NBA playoffs as the number 2 seed, where VanVleet posted the role of an important bench player for the team after an early postseason shooting slump in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks. VanVleet scored 21 on 7 three-pointers in a 105-99 win, helping the Raptors take a 3-2 series lead. This came after the birth of his son, Fred Jr., which people believe sparked and stellar play from him that soon followed. He played well in Game 6 to send us to our first ever NBA Finals, along with giving the Raptors strong, consistent play throughout that series against Golden State. In Game 4 of the 2019 NBA Finals against Golden State, VanVleet was elbowed in the face by Warriors guard Sean Livingston on a layup. He required 7 stitches and a chipped tooth. With television cameras capturing the shattered tooth on the court, it marked the second time VanVleet required stitches during the 2019 playoffs. He also required them after Game 3 of the conference finals. VanVleet played an important defensive role against Stephen Curry during the NBA Finals that saw him utilized in a box-and-one defense, which proved very effective through his insane hustle, fighting through screens, and running on both ends of the floor. He also gained a lot of respect from the NBA community after Kevin Durant publicly spoke about him following their altercation in Game 5. He is going to be in the league for a long time, however long he wants to be. He is stamped to me as like a dog in the league. He said young players should look at the Raptors point guard for inspiration. As an undrafted player, a lot of guys should be looking at Fred VanVleet. In Game 6 of the NBA Finals, VanVleet scored a playoff career-high 22 points with 5 three-pointers off the bench in a 114-110 series-clinching win, thus helping the Raptors win their first NBA championship in franchise history. VanVleet came second place in NBA Finals MVP voting to Kawhi Leonard. From this point on, we all knew that Freddie was a force to be reckoned with and would be very important to us for the years moving forward. This championship was very special for Freddie because he felt like all of his hard work, everything he had to do to get to this point had finally paid off. He was able to get the minutes he deserved in the playoffs. This allowed him to greatly contribute to the team and dramatically impact every game he played, especially in Game 6. He felt like he went through the fire and did everything the hard way. Nothing came easy to him, and it felt amazing to be a champion. He also stated that it's only his third year and he is already here, so there's a lot more to come. Fred became a fan favorite after the last series against Golden State, which got him his own Freddie chant in the championship parade. Like we said, many people respect him a lot more now, and he proves his worth every night on the court. Following the loss of Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard, head coach Nick Nurse told Freddie and Pascal that there were 30 more shots on the table. In response, both players chose to dramatically improve their games and work hard in the offseason. This year, Freddie has become a full-time starter in the shooting guard position, sharing the backcourt with mentor and leader Kyle Lowry. In the season opener on October 22nd against the New Orleans Pelicans, VanVleet scored a career-high 34 points after receiving his first NBA championship ring. He continued to play consistently well throughout the season, always putting up strong numbers. He ended the season averaging 17.6 points, 6.6 assists, and 3.8 rebounds, and 1.8 steals, with 41% field goal shooting and 39% three-point shooting. In the Raptors' second game, returning back from the suspension of the season due to the COVID-19 pandemic on August 3rd, VanVleet scored a career-high 36 points, hitting 7 three-pointers in a 107-103 win over the Miami Heat in the Orlando bubble. On August 17, VanVleet set a trio of player career highs in points: 30, three-pointers made, 8, and assists 11, in a 134-110 win over the Brooklyn Nets in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals in the 2020 NBA playoff bubble. VanVleet became the first Raptors player to record 30 points and 10-plus assists in a playoff game, while also joining Damian Lillard, Stephen Curry, and Chris Paul as the only NBA players to record 30-plus points, 10 assists, and 8 three-pointers made in a playoff game. His play has been very solid in the bubble so far, and the Raptors are clearly relying on him a lot more to carry the bulk of the scoring. Also, with Pascal struggling as of recent, the team looks towards Freddie for controlled and productive scoring.
Fred overall is a fantastic player on both ends of the court because of his hustle. He digs deep down low, plays tight defensively, and gets steals and deflections on as many plays as he can. We all know that we've seen him play. The consistent fans that watch definitely know and notice the small things that he does on the court, just like Kyle, his somewhat mentor. On offense, he is obviously great on the ISO or in a pick-and-roll situation because of his high IQ. He usually knows what to do. He's got good handles. He can keep the ball close. He can cross people over, and he's dangerous getting to the rack because he has a saucy layup package. He also is a good shooter, especially from the three-point line. We all know that. We've seen him make some outstandingly difficult shots. And finally, he is a great vocal leader and floor general who is a very willing playmaker as well. His three-point shooting we know to be a threat and somewhat has found a way to be disrespected by coaches like Jack Vaughn, saying that he's historically not good from three-point line, but based off the stats, he has improved every season, his shooting percentages, and he did show up by scoring tons of points on every night that he was only supposed to have less than 10. So he does prove the haters wrong, and we know that he can do all these different things on the court. I know you can agree with that, Adam. For
sure. Fred has been amazing. Basically, his whole career, everywhere he's went, he's been a winner, and he's been amazing.
Yeah, the Raptors 905, you think he's won the championship there. Then he came and did it with us. And his story, I know, and I think in general, is a fantastic come-up story. Underdog situation. People looked down on him, never thought he would be much. He went undrafted, and he used everything as motivation to become one of the top players on our team right now, and definitely a well-respected player in the league. Getting the likes of Kevin Durant to vocally speak about him, calling him a dog in the league who's going to be around for a long time. That's very respectable. After that game, Fred VanVleet tweeted to Kevin Durant and said, I'm not too cool to say thank you because he is one of the best players in the league, and that's very nice for him to say something like that, and it's a lot of respect given to Fred VanVleet, and he knows that. So obviously he had to acknowledge it. He has become a fantastic player with us just by working hard, developing, and staying true to himself, betting on himself. That's obviously his motto. I know, Adam, you like to live by that motto too. It's a great motto to, live by whatever field that you're working with. You have to bet on yourself and make the most out of your opportunity because that's what Fred VanVleet did. Yeah. Finally, to cover some of his personal life, along with his young son that we mentioned, he has a daughter named Sana, I'm not really sure to pronounce it, who was born on January 29th, 2018. The mother of his kids and longtime girlfriend of Fred VanVleet is Shantae Neal. She constantly commends Fred for being a great father and is so grateful to spend time with him and the kids during the off-season or days off. Some of this information we got from Fred VanVleet's Open Gym episode. Fantastic to see his story, in full, presented with a visual aspect and some behind-the-scenes clips, but also seeing some stuff like this with his family is nice. He is been a father for a while now, and it's great to see different aspects to all these players because they have a life on and off the court, and they have something else to play for, put food on the table, because at the end of the day, it is a job as much as it is you're playing basketball for your career, but it is a career, and it is about providing for your family, which he has to do.
Yeah, for sure, Gabe. Just moving to the current day, I wanted to ask you, with Fred VanVleet being on the topic of obviously the offseason signing, where's he going to? Is he going to stay with Toronto, or is he going to go to a team like Phoenix or Detroit, who really needs guards? What would be the number that you would give Fred VanVleet?
First off, I think that Fred has been fantastic with us so far. I hope he stays. I think that he will stay because once again, like when he re-signed with us back in going to the 2018 season, 2017-2018 season, he knew that we were the team, gave him his first opportunity and we respected his play, gave him a chance, watched him grow, helped him grow. So I think that he would love to stay here to be with this team, especially as we are champions and we are coming off, a good season this year, even without Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. We have proved to play very well. Hopefully the playoffs will continue to show that. But I think he's going to want to stay, and I hope we can have him back. We know that he is of great value to us. I don't see us giving him away or letting him walk too easily. In terms of money-wise, I would say something around the $25 million mark would be great for him. Right now, I think he's getting about $9 or $10 million, so it's obviously underpaid for what he's worth. We do have a lot of guys that are heavily in contracts. Next season, like we talked about before, is going to be interesting with who gets less and who's taking some cuts. But I think Fred VanVleet is someone you have to give some money for because he is young, he is talented. I could see a great future with him. And as some of our veterans are getting older and leaving, we might need to keep our core together, a young core who can lead us moving forward. I think he is the backbone of that. So I think he's be good for $25 million, around that range, maybe even a little bit more, like a back-end contract that grows. But I think 25 around there is a good mark.
Yeah, I'm thinking around 22 to 27 is about right for him for what he's done in the postseason so far, as well as this season and last season, as well as the postseason last season. He's been great. I mean, he's went through some slumps and he's gotten over them, and he's shown consistency throughout his game, and it's important to have. He's a guy. He does never afraid from a shot. He'll always shoot whenever he has to. Whenever there's an open shot, he's not afraid of versing better players on paper, quote unquote. But he's a great player. I mean, he's a great starter for the team, and I think he could be more than that. I think he can reach an all-star level, which he's proving to be in these playoffs.
Yeah, he is definitely, very confident in his style. He's not afraid. He doesn't back down from anybody, not even, Kevin Durant. If he wants to get in his face and talk some smack, he'll go right for it. We've seen him so far in all these stages. He's proven to be consistent and get over the hump of having bad shooting nights. He doesn't let that rattle him up. He is very, serious and calm and locked in, and he's gotten through all those bad stages or bad humps of shooting nights just by staying focused and focusing on his game. And that's why they call him Steady Freddy, because he's poised, he's locked in, and even when he has bad nights, he comes back. And a lot of the time it's been in the fourth quarter, which is very clutch to see. Back in the 2017-2018 season, he started to get more minutes in that fourth quarter. That's when he hit that shot against the Pistons at the last second. He was at that time still a bench player, bench mob. So maybe you could have called him a seventh or eighth man, but he got those minutes because he was showing how consistent he was. And even in bad shooting nights, he somehow turned it back around in the fourth quarter, which he still does to this day. So it's great to see someone like him and to have someone like him on our team.
Yeah, he's a vital piece to us, and without him, I wouldn't imagine us doing as well as we are. Looking to our franchise history, do you see Freddie being a part of that top 3 point guard group with Damon Stoudemire, Kyle Lowry, and Jose Calderon?
I think if he stays here long enough, I think he will get there because he's shown to be a great scorer, a great passer. He's starting to break a couple of records for this team, and I think the longer he stays here, obviously the more we will tell where he goes, especially now that he's a champion, 905 champion too. He's done a lot for the franchise in the city. I hope he stays, and I think that one day he can get there. Okay, that wraps it up. We hope you all enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube for visuals for the podcast. We're also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Check us out on Instagram at Rapzville for more NBA content, Raptors content, box scores, all that stuff. And yeah, we hope you all enjoyed. That's us signing out. Peace.
Peace.